Welcome back, my friends. We're picking up where we left off in part 1 of this luxury Q&A. So if you have not had a chance to catch up on all the Hermes topics that we have already discussed, I will make sure to have part 1 linked in the info box for you. And without further ado, if you'd like to join today's luxury chit chat, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Actually, we have another new to Hermes question here. Starting my Hermes journey, any tips on items to look at for a first purchase? Yes. So let me run you through some of my favorite pieces from Hermes that I think would be a great way for you to explore the brand. I would definitely start with, if you're looking at shoes, you could look at boots. I know everyone talks about the orange sandals and the Izmir and all these different things. I think it's really boots that are worth investing in from Hermes. If you prefer something a little bit more casual, then the fresh ankle boots are a great piece to look at. If you're looking for something formal, you have the Neo and the Vio ankle boots that feature a twist closure. If you're looking at the women's line, the jumping boots are an incredible statement piece for you to have in your collection, although slightly more expensive, but they are definitely worth the money. They are the kind of thing that you'll have in your collection forever, and they also make an amazing statement. When it comes to leather pieces and accessories, I would highly encourage you to look at the Be Happy. If you've been with me for a while, you have heard me talk about the Be Happy. There is something about those pieces that just pulls and upgrades any outfit that you style it with. So I would definitely look at the Be Happy range. I love Hermes's mugs and their tart platters. If you're looking to infuse your home with a little bit of Hermes, silk scarves are genuinely like a piece of art. I don't think anyone does silk scarves quite like Hermes does, and I have a video explaining why that is. But long story short, something that you will notice when it comes to Hermes scarves is how vibrant the colors are and how clear the graphics actually look. And the reason for that is that when it comes to the printing technique, unlike other brands who will print a scarf as is, as just one layer, Hermes actually prints every single color as its own individual layer, and that's how you get so much dimension and so much opacity with the colors and those really saturated, beautiful colors and shapes, which does make Hermes scarves quite special. Now, if you're not into wearing a silk scarf, you can either frame them or buy the hanging system from Hermes to display them in your home and give them the attention they actually deserve. So silk scarves are a great way to go. I would look at the 90 by 90 scarves, even though they do different sizes. 90 by 90 is a great place to start. And then you might want to look at some SLGs. And if you do, I would maybe look at the Burn card holders. Although those are slightly more expensive. The Kelly wallets I love, but they're definitely going to be an investment. And the Tarmac passport holder, in my opinion, is just such a fun piece to have. Also considering that it will give you a taste for Hermes's leathers and colors without breaking the bank. Who do you think the new Chanel creative director will be, and who do you think it should be? And I have to be honest with you, I am not a big fashion geek, which you probably won't believe considering what I do here on YouTube, but I'm not very interested in the people behind the different brands. I buy things if I like the way they look, not because of the name behind them. Now, obviously, there are creative directors that I know and love their approach and their aesthetic, so I will buy their pieces. But if they design something I didn't like, I would simply not buy those pieces. I'm not really loyal to specific people like that. But when it comes to Chanel, who do I think it should be? I would love to see Tom Brown as the creative director of Chanel. I think he would do such an incredible job. I don't think that would ever happen considering that Tom Brown is an American designer and Chanel is so proud of their French heritage. But I think it would be such an amazing era in the history of Chanel. And let's do one last luxury question, which is, are exotic bags more difficult to get than regular leather? In my opinion, they're not more difficult to get because you are competing against much fewer people, simply because the pool of people who are willing to spend exotic prices isn't that big. So you're not technically competing against as many people as you would for a bag in regular leather, purely because of the price point. However, there are much fewer exotic bags available. So Hermes doesn't produce nearly as many exotic bags as they do regular bags. So even though you're not competing against as many people, the supply that you are or trying to get your hands on is also a lot smaller, not to mention that boutiques don't get that many exotic bags. So I really don't think there is that much of a difference when it comes to whether those are easier to get or regular leathers. I think it's just a different field that you're playing on, but you're still playing the same sport, if that makes any sense. And then, do you like ostrich leather? Which bag in the leather would you choose? It really depends. I don't like all bags made of ostrich. But if you are interested in exotic leathers and you are looking for an exotic leather that is hard wearing, something that you don't have to worry about too much, a leather that's not too finicky and delicate and you don't have to handle with kitten gloves, ostrich is an amazing hard wearing sturdy leather to look into. Personally, when it comes to bag styles, I would only buy ostrich in a smaller bag, so probably I wouldn't go bigger than a Kelly pochette or maybe a Birkin 25, because obviously the follicles that give ostrich this almost polka dot like look can be quite overwhelming in my opinion, and I would prefer ostrich in a lighter color and in something that's not in the red/pink family. So I would stick to more neutral shades and I would not buy ostrich in a dark color. Except dark blue, I quite like dark blue, but I would definitely not buy ostrich in black because the contrast between the polka dots and the base of the leather, in my opinion, is not strong enough. So it just kind of makes the bag look dirty, marked up, and it just makes the bag look old and aged. So I would personally prefer ostrich in a lighter neutral shade in a smaller size, but I have to say it is an insanely hard wearing leather that you don't have to worry about too much, yet it will add a very unique texture to your arsenal. I still have a few minutes left, so we can end this video with some personal questions, and I would actually love to address this question because I not only got a couple of questions on this, but I also got some DMs recently and even a comment wondering if I'm on Ozempic. So, I understand where the question is coming from. I don't really talk about my life, so it's not like, I'm a lifestyle content creator and it's something that I would be talking about. But if you're wondering, no, I am not on Ozempic or any other weight loss drug. I am just at a pretty good place mentally and physically. I've been working out a lot. I do have the tendency to gain a lot of weight when I'm going through a tough time and lose it when I'm doing better. And thankfully, I am doing really well mentally and physically. I have been working out a lot. I go to the gym, I think 10, 12 times a week. I am training for different races. I just did my first 10K race, which I told you guys about recently, which was so much fun. I actually hit my goal. So my goal was to run 10K under 44 minutes, and I ended up doing it in 43:31 to be exact, which I was really proud of, and I'm hoping to beat that time. I have an 8K race coming up, and then I'm doing a half marathon in October, so I'm training for those. And yeah, there's just a lot going on, and workout is a very important part of my life, and mentally I am doing better. And then I saw some other questions. How did you make new friends in a new country? It was very tough, especially because you guys know I moved during 2020 when everything was closed down. I work from myself, I work from home, so it's not like I was even able to meet people through work. So it took me a few, if not a couple of years to create a circle of friends that I hold really near and dear to my heart. But I would say that the best way to meet people is to put yourself out there and find hobbies that you can do with others. So going to the gym, and I wouldn't suggest just going to the gym on your own, but try to do maybe different social classes. So take up spinning, take up different things that you can do regularly and you can meet people through. If you're into running, I think going to run clubs can be a great way to meet people. If you work for yourself like I do, try to go to different co-working places, see if there are any members clubs that you could join, and just be open-minded. But it is incredibly tough making new friends, but I think hobbies are the best way to go. So for me, obviously that was working out, but if you're into painting or if you're into reading, you can definitely go to book clubs and different painting classes. and just be open-minded and don't fear rejection. I know that rejection is very scary, and thinking that, oh, I cannot talk to this person because what if they reject me? If they reject you, you never have to see that person again. I think taking the first step and taking initiative is the key, at least in my experience. And let's end with this question. How are you finding the dating world? I am losing hope. I am with you. I don't want to say your name, but my thoughts are with you. Yeah, it's really underwhelming out there, but please do not lose hope. Continue putting yourself out there. I think the most important thing is that you find ways to put yourself out there, because I have all these friends who are looking for relationships, and when I ask them, okay, what are you doing to find those relationships, they're like, I'm out there, I do all these different things. And when I ask them what they do, they'll tell me that they go to a reformer class, or they'll say that they'll go to a women's club, which are all amazing things to have a community around you, but that's not really putting yourself out there. Because when I ask, okay, you go and do these things regularly, but how many eligible men do you see around, or people that you would be interested in, men or women, it doesn't matter, and they say none, well, then you have to change your strategy. You have to pivot. You go to places where you can meet people that you're interested in. And if what you have been doing is not working, insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. That's not going to happen. If what you've been doing hasn't been working, you have to try something new. And whether that's dating a different person because the relationships that you've had you were not happy with, if you are struggling to find people that you connect with, maybe try new ways of connecting with them, or try new places to meet people. And by no means am I a dating guru, so don't think that I am preaching here. I am just simply sharing with you what's been on my mind. But if you have any dating tips, please share with us in the comment section down below. I feel like it's really tough out there these days. I think we are so used to instant gratification and having access to everything at our fingertips. You want to know something, you go on Google, and within 2 minutes you have access to the information. You want to get something delivered to your house, you can get it shipped to your house overnight. And I feel like a lot of people look at dating the same way. They no longer put effort and work into a relationship, which relationships are work. Even the most perfect, most harmonious relationship, you still have to put work into, and you still have to maintain it. And I feel like a lot of people forget about that, and they look at dating almost as an all-you-can-eat buffet. They try this, they try that, and if they're not happy with it, they move on to the next thing, instead of trying to see why it didn't work. Now, I am by no means suggesting that you should stay in on a healthy, toxic dynamics, but if you feel like that you see a reoccurring pattern in your dating, maybe you should look inside instead of constantly chasing that perfect person that will meet every single criteria on your list. Anyway, this is just my brain dump when it comes to dating. But please don't lose hope. You are not alone. There are many of us single people out there who are trying to navigate this weird world of dating and online dating, which, yeah, it can be very confusing and even disheartening. But try something new, pivot. If you're not happy with the results of your current dating, try something new. Maybe try a different app, or try meeting people in a different place or through a different activity, or try to say yes to a different kind of person, a different type of girl or guy that you would have not said yes to previously. Sorry guys, I have been filming for a while. Try to say yes to a different kind of person that previously you would have rejected, or you would have not gone on a date with, because that's the only way you'll learn. I'm really big on saying yes to going on first dates. I go on first dates very happily. Second dates are tough. Like, you really have to capture me to say yes to a second date, but I have no issues with going on a friendly first date. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. So yeah, maybe try going on more first dates. I don't know where you are at, but that is something that I always suggest to my friends, especially my very picky friends who are struggling to find the right person. They're like, yeah, but this person has this or that. And I'm like, no one is perfect. We cannot have a laundry list of things that we want a person to have. But if there is some sort of a baseline attraction, going on a first date can really not hurt. But of course, be safe out there. But yeah, these are my very long-winded 2 cents on dating. And my friends, this brings us to the end of today's Q&A. I really hope you enjoyed it and you got something out of it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And if you would like to participate in future Q&As like this, you can always follow me over on Instagram. But I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I will see you back here with a new video really, really soon.